Welcome back to Amplifiz Pharma and MedTech Conference in Singapore. I'm very, very happy to have with me Tristan Theurier, who is the General Manager of Veeva Commercial here in Asia Pacific. Tristan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Guillaume. Thanks for having us.
So tell me a bit more about you and your journey.
Sure. So born and raised in France. That's where I did my studies. I did my business school there as well. I usually talk about my business school because during the business school, I had an exchange program in India, in Kolkata. Okay. And that kind of shaped a bit like who I am. It was a wake-up call and broadened up my perspective as well. And since then, I guess India has a very special place in my heart, I would say.
That's
nice. Then started my career in a MedTech company. Okay. It was in procurement. But I think early I got two early lessons. One is always put the patient first. And the other one is a deep respect for, I would say, compliance and the regulatory requirements. I joined Veeva 12 years ago. So at that time, Veeva was really a startup. But it was about the value proposition was the pharma reps could get a CRM on an iPad and they could synchronize on the Wi-Fi, which was usually at the Starbucks coffee. But that was a big thing. And so I wanted to be part of that journey and kind of that innovation chasm. So that's why I joined Veeva 12 years ago. But the last 10 years were spent in Singapore. So at Veeva, across Asia, I had different roles across APAC, China, Japan. And on the two big things that we do at Veeva, the drug development, supporting the solutions on drug development, and on the drug commercialization.
So why was it important to you, maybe personally, and to your team to join this new Amplifiz Pharma and MedTech conference here in Singapore?
We have our own events, and we think they are important for the industry. But I guess the flip side is we drive the agenda. Well, it's pros and cons, right? You drive the agenda, so it's good. But then also, like, probably for me, that was a good opportunity to get a bit of outside of the box thinking and see also what the industry is thinking about, what the industry is worried about. Right. And so when we have this relationship, we try to talk about patients, but probably it was a lot more like patient-centric today. And so that was refreshing to get new ideas as well.
Yeah. And so what is the pulse that you took out of it? What are some of the takeaways you had from today's conference?
I think the big thing is we have a pretty large community in Singapore, but we can still do a lot more, I think, to build that community, right? It's still a bit fragmented. And there are moments where the industry needs to stick together, right? And you kind of briefly mentioned that as well. And I think it's a moment where the industry needs to stick together a bit more. Right. But at the same time, it's a moment where we can learn a lot from each other. Like AI is obviously changing a lot of things. We are all learning. And I think it's a bit about like the humility about learning more from each other. And so that's why I think these community events are pretty important.
This is cool. And I'm so thankful that you and your team are participating in this event. Not only you are obviously a flagship partner to the industry since decades, but obviously for this community to exist and to sustain, we need to have partners like you and Veeva who are obviously coming on and bringing great expertise. So thank you so much for that.
Pleasure.
When you fast forward to the next couple of years, you talked about AI. Obviously, everybody is excited about this. This was one of the main themes in the conference. We talked about the HCP and the patient journey in the AI era and what it means for pharma, for MedTech guys. From a Veeva perspective, you work very closely with all the leaders in pharma. If you had to do almost the impossible, which is to summarize in few words only, the main part that excites you about the AI innovation in pharma for 2026, what would it be?
Maybe I can share a bit on how we see the vision of Veeva AI, very much.
Sure.
Maybe it's a slightly different angle, but I guess that can help as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Veeva wants to build the industry cloud for life sciences. So industry cloud, what does that mean? That means software, data as well. So for example, HCP data for better profiling segmentation, and the consulting arm that helps drive the value of software and data. If you think about AI, you need actually, it's not one of the three, right? You probably need the three. So that's the first thing. Now, how we want to do that, a big part is our Vault platform. So the Vault platform is our own technology. What the industry needs really is a place where you can store good data and a place where you can really manage content as well, and ideally have that together. This is the value proposition of Veeva and Vault.
Because Vault is or was originally your content management system, is that right?
It was originally the same way Veeva was originally a CRM company, and that has evolved a lot, right? Actually, there's as much data as content right now on Vault.
Okay.
And Vault is used for things that are very like clinical data. So clinical trials are there where you store the data of the subjects, as well as, like you say, the promotional material.
Right.
So the Vault platform is the industry standard now. We're bringing AI into the Vault platform, and so that's how we think about Veeva AI. So Veeva AI is the agentic AI into the Vault platform, with agents available for all Vault applications.
So can you give us some examples of what these agents would do or are doing already?
That will be voice control. So that will be just using the phone to actually, for the pharma reps, record the interactions. I met Dr. Guillaume. We talked about that. Please record the medical interactions. Please record the new medical insights, and that's there. So we talked a lot about with customers about the UI, etc. But maybe the voice is getting the new UI, right? And so this is not just AI. It's a big shift. That's one. The big one we talk as well is free text. I talk about compliance is sensitive. Do you want to let the pharma reps enter things into the CRM?
Yeah.
If you have AI supporting free text, then and the AI knows the industry norms, the context, etc. AI can say, "Hey, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to enter that?" And actually, will block until the person is rephrasing the notes. And so that could look like as a compliance thing, but actually we move from limiting the insights because of technology to unlocking actually the quality of the interactions and what you can share with the doctors. And so that's unlocking actually a lot of the potential.
What is the maturity of your customers right now for AI? Are they still in the pilot phase, dipping your toe in the water or hardly doing that, or they are actually very much advanced into, deeper rollout?
We have a large spectrum from hey, we try something and it fails. I think we have also the opportunity in the region to take a lot of innovation, right? And that's kind of also how we pitch that to our customers and maybe more the multinational companies is Asia is the right place to try things, actually. I think about Australia, I think about certain markets that are also very digital aware, say, hey, you have great places in Asia where we can try, and then if that works, then you deploy at scale, right? Mm-hmm. So I think maybe more than trying to give you a pulse of Asia, which is probably a bit of finger in the air, I think that's more like what we try to do is hey, that no matter where you are, you have a chair at the table, and you can do a lot within your company as well, and we can help you with that.
Awesome, so exciting. Your space is moving very fast. Thank you so much, Tristan, for supporting us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you also to be my guest on this quick fireside chat.
Pleasure.
I'm gonna leave you to a glass of wine and some good chats with your clients.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tristan.
See you.
Thank you so much.